Hi everyone, we're down here at the park and you can see this giant bird with a recessed beak, the bird's eye, and now the crest is on top. Just a giant bird head. There's a bunch of really big ones right here and I wanted to share a few of them with you. I didn't come out here to make a video, but now I can't help myself. There's a really great gigantic effigy right here you can see in the white with the braid that's coming down. So of course the face is facing to the left there. That's the braid. It probably has an opposing face on it as well, but it doesn't come out great that way. Whenever you angle it, it does. It's just like a little weird character there. And there's some really cool ones here too. Some of the color comes out a little better, so you can see how this cardinal head is represented. If you look at the beak on the left-hand side, how it's a perfect diamond. If you look at where that eye is, there's actually a circle just to the left of that crack. And sorry for zooming in and out there. I'll show you some of the color. I can see some of the imagery of the faces that are on it, like in the top there. Each one of these little sections, there's little faces on them. Little statue. They're both, some of them are pointing to the right. So if you look at the color, you can see the green hair on the top. We're down here in Haw River, by the way. Green hair on the top there. The face is in like that red-brown color. Also see to the left, see how the beak is long, this long section here, and how the head of the bird is perhaps right there. See, it's a duck. It's the whole duck sitting down. You see the bottom of the duck down here? That's the duck's beak. At least, so it's 3D, right? The back of the duck's head's right there, the front of the beak, and then the face of it. That's the body of it back there. See how the bump is coming up. There's a lot on this. There's a lot out here. There's a big primitive warrior here facing upward. You can see his lips here, his eye. He's just facing that way. And you can see there's some swirls and things on his face. Some marking. Look at where his eyes should be. You can see the marking there. Deep carvings. Let's look at some more. All of these are really interesting and you can learn a lot from just about all of them. There's like a weird black-faced character here. And then on the right, I'm sure some which way. Oh, he's facing this way, that's why. So this is the eye, the mouth, and the hair. So it's a black and a white character. Not necessarily talking about race here, of course. I'm just talking about the pictures that are on these stones and the color that they're in. And you can see the character perhaps looking to the right, like these guys are kind of wrapped around each other. There might be something weird going on there, but you can see how the eye is done, right? It's interpretive, it's art. So the mouth I see down here, the eye, perhaps the nose, and he might have like a beak between his nose and his mouth. There might be like some kind of beak happening right there. Let's take a look at some more. And here we are kind of zoomed in on one that's pointing upward. So just the tiniest little face at the very front. It's that little section there. And then going back, there's more. We could just kind of scan through here. You'll be able to see some pretty wild, very definitive carvings and things, stuff that we might not be able to see the first time we look at it, but the second, third time we will. You see the nose, the mouth, and the eye with the hat. There's a big character there. So what's important to know is that these don't just stay hard to see. That's what's so fascinating about this art, is when you start to learn it, you start to see more detail than you could have imagined before. If you look at this Indian here facing to the left, you can see how the face is carved in there, and you see the circles. There's like petroglyphs actually drawn on top of this. See these? If you look closely, you'll see the little drawings. They're all over it. That's why it kind of looks natural, because there's so many of them. These are symbols all along the outside of this, what looks to be like a mammoth head. That's the mammoth eye right there. See, I'm trying to hold my finger straight, but There's also human silhouettes in this too. So depending on how you're looking at it and from what perspective, you're going to see the images that they intended. There's no right answer for this art because it's very interpretive, and it was meant to be that way. There's lots of things on one stone, right? So this one is very fascinating. It looks like a piece of iron, and it's really polished, and it has, it's nearly impossible to show, but from where I'm at right now, but maybe later on we could take a look at it. There you are. You can see a bit of it there. Very polished and easy to see with this good stone material. If you look closely, you see how both the eyes are represented. And if you look at that left eye, you see the hole in it. Beautiful carvings in there, and you can see the other hole for the other eye. You see the nose and the mouth below. So, I'll show it just a little better. There we go. There's Mr. Man, Mr. North American Man. And if you look on the left-hand side there, you can see how the curl is done for the portrait facing up to the right. So, this is Haw River, North Carolina culture. This is awesome. I love this place. So glad I moved back here. Weird bird, animalmorphic characters. So it's the human. The white section is representing the bird beak. So it's, you can look at it as being the human and then turning into the bird. It's just something that just kind of repeats over and over again in there. They did a good job on these. So where I usually study my art at is a tributary to the Haw River. And this is like the main site. So a lot of these stones, you'll see they have left the white line through them. Maybe as like an indicator of, hey, this is the, I don't know why they did it, but you can see a lot of the stones have that crystal white line. And, you know, you would use that for the art, so. Oh gosh. So you would line that line up to where it was straight, and then you would be able to see the image that was on the top. Using different angles and things. Oh geez. It's going to be tough, you know, it's kind of tough to show this. But again, now that we looked at some of that other stuff, you can see how this one really comes out nice. It's a really crazy white, you know, face seems to be painted white. And then it's got this, whatever this thing is, drizzling down from the top of its head. And it's got spirals and imagery on it too. I'm sure there's little things in there. Pretty cool stuff. Go ahead and just walk through here and I'll show you how every single one of these is actually one of these. This is the woman with the nose and the mouth. This is her hair. That's her neckline. You can see how her face is just right here. And she's looking this way. That's her mouth. I can put my... So... And more than likely this would be the mammoth on the left-hand side. So it was a mammoth culture. Lots of carvings on it when you see it through the camera. You can't really see it this well just with the naked eye. The camera actually picks up things better than our eyes can, and it enhances them. Look at that guy. Wow. Some of these V carvings just facing right at us there. Someone left their Newports. I'll throw that stuff away before it falls into the river. There's a big old bird. It's a cool one. Look at it facing to the right. And look, it turns into a human head right there. So you can bring it over, and then that profile of the human turns back into a bird, I'm sure. Look at the paint on that. Fantastic. Beautiful profile. Of course, it's facing up to the right, right? I'm not going to twist the camera around on you. It's a fancy one, though. It's amazing how large they made these. Noticing all those carvings. See the checkered pattern? You guys can see that pattern, right? It's very easy to see. So there's different levels of detail. So you see the checkered pattern, then you look within the checkers on the far right, you see those other little notches. Oh yeah, let's get that light in there. That's perfect, eh? I'm not gonna lie, every time a car goes over, I jump a little bit. Oh, look at him. So he's just painted probably both of his eyes just right here in this section. But there's more too. There's that same checker pattern again. That one, see how they do the carvings? Look at that. Beautiful band. They do a good job. This camera's really picking up on it too. So we're seeing the man with like this tall hat back here, kind of facing at us. Take a peek there. There's a few other things, so you won't be able to see. You might be seeing something completely different than I'm seeing as well. So I just really enjoy showing this, and I'm glad that you guys are getting a kick out of it. Yeah, I thought coming out here was going to be like super easy, and to tell you the truth, well, I didn't think it was going to be super easy, but I didn't think I was going to be as stressed about some of this stuff as I turned out to be, and I'm glad to come out here to somewhere where it's easy to see this stuff. So not the very outside. Man, these things are beautiful. Yeah, this is where it all came from. I mean, this is the main creek, the main river, the big river, the Big Haw River. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.